Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Nolene has asked me to do a tip of the day, and the topic was leaning in or leaning out with your body. So this is a question that we've come across a little bit when running barrels. So the common misconception is that you should be leaning in with your body to make the turn, but this is not true. Because if you're leaning in with your body, it's just a matter of time before you start hitting barrels. So if I'm going to be leaning in with my body, I'm going to be throwing my horse off balance. He's just going to be dropping his shoulder. All of these things are evident. We see it quite often. When, on the contrary, when you're leaning to your outside, you're allowing your horse to balance itself. I'm out of the way. He can pick up his shoulder. He can come around the barrel without me having to control him or force him. The whole American barrel racing style, they call it guiding. So guiding is exactly what it sounds like. You're not telling the horse to go around it. You're simply guiding the horse around the barrel. So my hand is there. It's opening the door for him to go around the barrel. I'm not controlling him around the barrel. I'm not pulling him around the barrel. I'm opening the door and I'm allowing him to move his body by himself. Now, all of that doesn't come just overnight. Of course, we've trained these horses and he's been trained in such a way that when he sees a barrel, he knows what his job is. He knows what he's supposed to do. And because he knows his job so well, this is exactly why I can't be leaning in on the inside, because he'll just keep getting closer to those barrels and he will end up knocking them. So he knows his job so well. My job is to keep him honest, keep him round on the rib cage, keep him soft. Don't let him push his shoulder in. So those are all parts of training them in the slow work in the week. I don't make runs too often. I'm mostly doing a lot of trot work. I'm doing a lot of canter work, keeping him around those barrels. And those things are evidently what brings the bigger picture together. So I've already done a few demos on him, which is why he's all sweaty and tired and hating me right now. For argument's sake, I did a few correctly and I did a few incorrectly, and you will see the difference. So I'm going to do a little walkthrough as well and show you slowly what my body is doing, where my body should be, where my hands should be, what his body should be doing around the barrel. So for demo purposes, I've chosen my second barrel. I do tend to start on the left. The standard is normally to start on the right, but you go with your horse's strength. And so we start on the left. Right is definitely our stronger turn, but it is the turn that he does try to cheat me a little bit sometimes. And he'll often knock that barrel or tip that barrel on the exit. So typically if I'm coming into my barrel and I was coming directly from behind me where my first barrel is, I want to be out here and I want to be opening up my body this way. So my inside hand has freedom to move around my hip. My shoulders are open towards my barrel. I always tell my students, imagine that there is a string attached from the center of your chest to your barrel. So this way, I can now lean to the outside of my saddle. I'm out of his way. This also helps him to be able to pick up his inside shoulder. And me sitting on my outside seat bone, on the outside there, is going to help him engage his hind quarter coming around this barrel. Of course, we want them engaged with their hind quarter coming up and reaching beneath them for that strong reach out of the barrel towards our second barrel or our third barrel. So if I'm leaning on the inside, immediately his neck is straightening out a little bit more. His nose is slightly tipped to the outside. And he's a very laid back guy, so it can take a lot to get him wound up. So now he's dropping his inside shoulder and his nose is a little tipped to the outside. So naturally, if I'm going to keep going like this and I'm going to keep riding this way for a long period of time, he's going to end up dropping this shoulder so badly that he's going to knock this barrel. And I see that a lot. So I want him round. Now I've got his rib cage. He cannot knock this barrel if his rib cage is soft and round and his shoulder, his inside shoulder is lifted. Come on, lazy boy. So it's impossible for him to knock this barrel. But if I've got him leaning this way, now he's getting real close to that barrel. his rib cage has now rounded out that way, and he will end up knocking it back. So for his mechanics to work correctly, I want to sit to the outside so that he can gather up underneath himself. I want his rib cage soft so that we don't knock barrels. I want his inside shoulder lifted. But I can't do any of those things if I'm leaning towards the inside onto that inside shoulder. He's going to drop that shoulder. He's going to throw himself off balance, and you will end up drifting out behind the barrel. So I have, like I said, I've done some demos, and let's see how they go. Okay, guys, so that is today's tip of the day. If there's anything specific you'd like to know, any training tips that we should cover, drop us a comment, let us know. If you'd like to get personalized online coaching as well, please reach out, and we'll see you next time. Barrel racing, in the rush we